So Team Canelo apparently are interested in two people next for Canelo Alvarez, and those two people are David Benavidez and Jermall Charlo. And ironically, those are two of the guys that I mentioned in my Huckleberry series of videos. One of the Huckleberries. And I have two more Huckleberry videos to come up with, so stay tuned for those. So, as I stated in my Huckleberry video for David Benavidez and Charlo, I'm just gonna tell you guys what I think about those fights, all in a nutshell. As far as David Benavidez, I think he has a 75 or 80% chance of beating Canelo Alvarez, simply because I didn't know he can switch hit. I didn't know that. That's what I was looking into. I read about it. They said that he can switch hit, so that's a good thing, because as I stated, I see it's not just about being slick with Canelo or being a southpaw with Canelo. One of the things that I noticed is you have to be able to switch hit while you're being slick. Jump from orthodox to southpaw to have Canelo guessing and stuff like that. I think that's one of the major factors in possibly beating him. And not many dudes can switch hit. Either you're just a southpaw or you orthodox, but there's fighters that can do both. Caleb Plant can do both, but for some reason he chose to just stay orthodox the whole fight. And, look what happened. He probably would have lost anyway if he went southpaw, but I think he would have had more success. Maybe but then again, no. It's about the dog. You got to have the will. He didn't commit to anything. So even if he was southpaw, he probably still wouldn't have committed to nothing. So I got to count that out. Well, David Benavidez is going to come to fight. He's going to come to be relentless. He's going to come to throw punches and bunches, speed, power behind those punches. The thing is, will he come, how will he handle a shot from Canelo? Now, here's the thing. Canelo's power. People talk about his power a lot, and I don't know, man. I'm not gonna say it's over, like he doesn't have power, but I think it's overrated a little bit. I think it is slightly overrated. I think it is. Even the times he was catching Caleb Plant, for the little small minute times that he was successful early in the fight, he was catching Caleb with some good shots, and I didn't see, Caleb didn't drop him. Kind of like a Wilder would rock his dude, one touch KO power. That is not Canelo, But the fanboys is going to act like this guy has the most Thanos power of all time, and he just clearly doesn't. But with that being said, he does have power. He has some snot behind those punches. Can David Benavidez handle it? And this will be, without a doubt, David Benavidez's hardest puncher he's ever faced. So we will see how he can deal with the power of Canelo. Canelo has faced real hard punches already. So I'm not sure. David Benavidez's power alone is not going to be enough to beat Canelo. It's speed and power and volume, like keeping it in his face, put that should be able to push him back. It don't, you can be a person with speed and you can push somebody back even if you don't have power, because that all them punches are coming at you, it can force you back. But with David Benavidez's case, he's bringing power with a lot of that. And I also criticize David Benavidez for his defense, and I said he's gonna have to sharpen that shit up before he gets in the ring. Now, if David Benavidez is next up for Canelo, he has a lot of time, because they said May is Canelo's next fight. So he has a lot of time to train and hone his skills, or try to hone his skills on the defense, because he has really no head movement, in and out head movement, up and down. He needs to practice on his feints a little bit more. His stance, sometimes I don't like his stance because it's always a little too square. Canelo can catch him and knock him off balance. Sometimes I don't like how he don't tuck his chin, kind of like similar to Ryan Garcia. I think they need to work on that a little bit. If they can work on that, and I think he should take another fight after he fights Kyron Davis. I think David Benavidez should take another fight, just in case he's up next for Canelo, he should take another fight after Kyron Davis. We in November. He fights this week. I say like a February or January fight, or February is a good time. I said David Benavidez should jump in the ring with somebody to hone those defense skills. Somebody that's not like a light touch, but somebody that's gonna give him, that's gonna be a pressure fighter and can punch a little bit, so he can learn how to hone those skills before he goes into a fight with Canelo. That's just my take. He has November, 6 months to prepare for this, you know what I mean, and do some things in between, practice spar practices with his defense and sparring, his head position in sparring, practice all of that on sparring sessions, and practice that with one more fight before you would get to the Canelo. That's what I think, because if he doesn't, what's going to happen in that fight is David Benavidez is going to go in there, he's going to come straight at Canelo, and he is going to get clipped with something. It's just that simple. He's going to get clipped with something, more than likely to his body. Canelo is starting to master that body thing, pretty well. Learning, well, damn, if I can't get to the head, I'll just get to the body and try to chop the tree down. Other people have also brought up the fact that David Benavidez has been knocked down by Ron Gavril in their first fight. I think he knocked him down with a jab. And they're going off that, saying, well, since look, David Benavidez got knocked down by a jab, so there's no way he should be able to take Canelo's punches. That's not necessarily true, and it's not necessarily wrong either, but he got hit with a jab. Sometimes you get hit with stuff you don't see coming. Maybe he didn't see it. Maybe he got distracted, wasn't paying attention, wasn't defensively responsible. Like I said, David Benavidez's defense is it's poor. It is. It's not like piss poor. I've seen worse, but he's not like Adam Kaunowski poor. It's not like that. It needs work. It's better than Adam Kaunowski. It's not as worse as his, but he needs to work on it, clearly. But it happens. It's boxing. He got back up. Some of the greatest have been knocked down. Being knocked down is not like some kind of a direct indicator that a person is going to lose against somebody else. That was just that fight. This is this fight now. So you can't always base what's going to happen in the new fight with what happened in the previous fight. It's not always, it doesn't work like that. So David Benavidez does have a chance, but his chances greatly increase if he can. I still put 80%, even if he fixes up his defense. Without fixing the defense, it'll be much lower than that. So let's move on to Jermall Charlo. I actually give him a better chance of beating Canelo Alvarez. And I don't even like the Charlo brothers like that, but I'm just going to be all real. Yeah, he was having some issues in the Montiel fight. But, a lot of people are different from the way I look at things different. A lot of people look at, he was struggling with Montiel. Absolutely. But maybe he was supposed to. Sometimes you face adversity that you don't expect. It's always sometimes some unexpected fighters. Look what just happened to Mikey Garcia the other day. Sometimes it's an unexpected fighter that's going to give you hell. And then it's the ones that you expect that's going to give you hell that you might ice them. That's just funny shit. It's funny things like that happen. That's what it is. So I'm not going to take that from Jermall Charlo. But he needs to step up his competition as well. I mean, he hasn't been fighting a really good comp at all. I think he only fought like 2 champions in like how many years? So Jermall Charlo ain't doing much, man. He's not doing much in the division. He don't want to fight Andrade. I don't respect that at all. But at the same time, I give him a 90% chance to beat Canelo. Just the way I'm looking at it, maybe just my eye test. I think he has better defense than David Benavidez. He has better footwork and movement than David Benavidez. He tucks his chin. Jermall Charlo's chin is more proven than David Benavidez's chin. So I give, you know what I mean? And I think he has more, now I'm not going to say more dog. I don't know. Yeah. In the ring, he does show he shows dog in the ring. You can't take that from Jermall, man. You never see him tired. You never see him running away in fights when he in the ring. Outside the ring, they talk a lot of bullshit, you know what I mean? But in the ring, I give him that. The dude could fight, man. He could fight. If he keeps his head composed, he probably could beat Canelo, a 90% chance. I think. A lot of people ain't gonna think the same. They're like, well, Triple G, he had power. Yeah, but Triple G is older. I understand that he was losing a step. He was declining. Triple G doesn't have the speed like Jermall Charlo. He doesn't have the foot movement like Jermall Charlo. Charlo has the better defense, man. Defense is everything. Even though you can take a punch and you got a good chin, through the duration of that fight, you keep getting punched in the face, it's gonna still slow you down because you're not blocking the shit, the way you're supposed to be. I think Charlo will be better in the defense department. He can possibly hurt Canelo. Triple G hurt Canelo. I think Charlo can definitely hurt Canelo if he hits him in the right spot. So those are just my exception, my analysis of these two fighters. So I give David Benavidez a slightly less of a chance to win against Canelo Alvarez than I do Jermall Charlo. It's just my take. Anyway, nonetheless, those are both great fights. Both, to me, are dangerous fights for Canelo. I know the Canelo fans ain't going to believe that, but I think those are two dangerous fights for Canelo. But anyway, get back to me. Let me know what you think about this, man, about Canelo's team possibly going to face Jermall Charlo or David Benavidez. To be honest, though, I got a strong possibility he's going to pick Jermall Charlo over David Benavidez. Reason being is they're going to go back and watch Jermall Charlo's last fight and see he was struggling and he got hurt against Montiel. They're going to tell him to come up and weight or catch weight. And they're going to pick him because the way he looked vulnerable in that Montiel fight. David Benavidez didn't look vulnerable against Ron Ellis. That's just my take. After he beats Jermall Charlo, then maybe he'll fight David Benavidez, or maybe not. He might end up fucking just dropping his belts going to 175. I don't really know, man, what Canelo is planning on doing. Because he shouldn't, to be honest, to be real with you, they shouldn't even be considering Jermall Charlo. So that's telling you something right there. That's telling you that's who they're going to pick. He's not even in your weight class. Why are you worrying about Jermall Charlo right now? You should have fought him at 160. You at 168, and you got a direct dude that's speaking to you right now. That's David Benavidez. Right there is telling me he might try to run from David Benavidez. Don't be surprised if he does. But anyway, I'm off this. I'll catch you guys later on the next one. Peace out.